Under the bright lights of Daytona International Speedway, where history echoes off the high banks and legends are born at over 180 miles an hour, a new chapter is about to unfold. Tonight, the stars of the Arca Menard series take center stage in the world's most famous superspeedway. It's a proving ground where raw talent meets razor-thin margins, and where one move, one push, can change everything in an instant. Drafting will be the name of the game. Packs of cars locked together, inches apart, dancing on the edge of control at nearly 200 miles per hour. One mistake could trigger the big one, but one perfectly timed run could launch a driver into victory lane and into the spotlight. For these drivers, this isn't just another race, it's an opportunity, a chance to make a name under the lights. To survive the chaos and to conquer Daytona, strap in, hold your breath, because at Daytona, it's never over until the checkered flag falls. Thank you very much for joining, everybody. Thank you very much for staying tuned. It's a pleasure to be your host. I am AdminBoxx on behalf of Appalachian eSports and the Arca Rookie Series. It's a pleasure to be here, folks. Looking at the order, looking at the running of drivers that we have, it's a healthy stock in the field here at Daytona. Lining that first row is going to be Andrew Floyd and Dean Barron. In the second row will be John Cherry and James Wagner. Row 3 is going to belong to Rick DeWeese and Raymond Bell. Braden Biddy and Eric Sheffield. Seth Jackson and Tyler Starcher. Row 5, row 6 to Dana Ryan and Jack Fugate. Row 7 for Mark Brister and Brandon Gordon. Row 8 for Dwayne Pierce and Jonathan Kibbe, who cheers are already coming out in chat for. Jacob Brownell and Chris Childers. And last but not least, Dan Kopinski, rounding out the grid. Pace cars in, and we're ready to go. Green, 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 as it's in the air. And we're ready to go racing here at Daytona. And it's going to be a nice jump start there for the crunch. Number 12, Andrew Floyd. That driver running very well and commanding the lead, but a little bit of a touch from behind on that bottom row from the number 86. Gets a little squirrely, the number 26, giving the big squeeze, and now the 12 is going to get the push from behind from the 88 of Cherry. Will it help out the 12, or will it hurt him? Dean Barron on that top side, looking good, looking healthy, and trying to find a way through. Pass for the lead. Is it going to be Dean Barron closing down onto the bottom row there, and it's going to be into the lead for the number 84 here on lap number 1. Drivers running side by side all the way through the pack. 3 wide further back. It's going to get a little bit hectic further back, but the drivers are going to manage to keep it green and clean. Holy Toledo. It is getting tight and hectic further down the field, but the Blind Squirrel Racing team is finding the pace and the momentum in that number 11. Eric Sheffield running in 8th, started in 8th, 3 wide again for the Appalachian field. It looks like the number 11 is making up moves as Eric Sheffield again position, and it's still tight and hectic for the lead. Andrew Floyd is gonna be in the lead right now. The fastest lap comes out from Sheffield back in 6th position. And that top row has definitely got a lot of momentum going for it right now, but opens up the bottom row for the number 26 and the 20 to push themselves along the way. New fastest lap coming out from Andrew Floyd, the leader of the race here on lap 3. But the caution comes out, and it looks like Starcher might be the one involved in that. Let's see if we get an incident review. That'll be Rick DeWeese, actually, the culprit of that incident. Let's see if we can get a replay of what happened to DeWeese. Oh, and just goes up into the wall for the 86. And that'll be all she wrote there for DeWeese. And now, we're back to sitting behind the pace car, so this will neutralize the field and give us another opportunity to get another green and clean race start. I think something that impressed me the most about this field and the drivers, we kept it green and clean for the entirety of those 4 laps, 5 laps, until that seemingly malfunction took place from DeWeese. Let's see if we can actually talk to DeWeese if he is here. I'm not seeing DeWeese in the garage, unfortunately, to find out what happened, but it almost looked like it was a mechanical issue that happened where he just went up and into the concrete barrier, because nobody would do that in their right mind, right? Look at this lovely livery from the Captain Crunch mobile. Well, excuse me, not Captain Crunch. This is going to be the Crunch car. Running the Arca Menards banner on the windshield. Look further back at James Wagner's livery or paint scheme. General Tires on it. Brandon Gordon in the Valvoline motor oil. And we're getting our first set of pit stops come in now. It'll be a whole fleet of drivers coming in. Wagner, Bell, Sheffield, Kibbe, Barron, Kopinski stays out. Starcher, Fugate, Ryan. It's easier to tell you which drivers ended up staying out. Floyd, Gordon, Cherry, Jackson, and Kopinski all ended up staying out. And look at Brandon Gordon's position gained right now. The trajectory of his positions gained all the way up into P2 now, starting back in P14 for the Ford Mustang. And we get everybody back behind the pace car. And let's see if we can find where DeWeese is. we started it back in 5th, currently running in 20th position now. And look at Kopinski as well. Dan, the number 64. That driver currently up a whole heap of positions themselves. Up 16 for the Garage 570 driver. Lights out on the pace car. So we head down to the choose. And it looks like the 12 Andrew Floyd on the low line there. Pretty content with the way things have run. Brandon Gordon in the number 28. Looking pretty healthy himself with those 12 positions gained. And wanting to secure this right now as much as he possibly can. And we're ready to go racing here again. Ready to go racing here at Daytona. Track length of 2.5 miles. Founded in 1959. The road course used in 1962 for sports car racing, of course. We are in Daytona Beach, Florida. Of course, we have 4 corners here. 31 degrees, banking from 1 through 4. And the trial at just 18 degrees. And you can see how steep the banking is on the oval. 28 feet high in some sections. And we're back to the restart zone, and it's green, green, green here for the American Appalachian eSports League. Starcher and Ryan going wheel to wheel on the race start. Gordon gets up into 3rd position right now alongside Cherry. Back down the order for Gordon. Back down the order for Andrew Floyd as he seemingly runs out of steam and the nose gets chopped off by the number 88 and just runs away with it in that high line. Further back, the 28 of Brandon Gordon. There's a big incident, and that's going to be the big one and the caution comes out. And that was a huge wreck there. See if we can go back one lap and catch out what happened to the 28 here. And everything's looking just fine. Does he get touched in the rear from the UPS truck? All drivers start fanning out. And the push starts to become present. And the 28 just gets a little hip check to the Jimmy John's machine. And then we go 3 wide with the rejoin. And it looks like the 64 might be culpable there. Dan Kopinski, the pilot of that 64. And this leads us into our second caution of the event. And don't forget, we still do have the stage at 25. Is that going to be a pit stop call for the 88? It looks like it. John Cherry comes down the lane to get a service. And let's see if anybody else comes down. So it'll be John Cherry in the pits, Dewey's in the pits, Bell, Childers, Gordon also in the lane. So those 5 drivers currently in pit lane. Everybody else choosing to stay out. The positions gained are looking a little bit jostled at this point in time. We have 10 gained for Kibbe and Brownell. James Wagner currently running in second position, who started back in 4th. And let's take a look at Seth Jackson, who's currently running in 1st, but started back in 9th position, low of P14 at one point in time. Absolutely lovely graphics here. Brought to us by, of course, our partners in crime. At Collateral Damage Sports Network. Big shout out to them. If you like what you see on the overlays, make sure you reach out to Shane Cochran at Collateral Damage Sports Network. And let's be honest, half of racing is about decisions, and most drivers get them wrong. AI Chief Racing gives you real-time strategy, fuel calls, and a crew chief that actually tells you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. Drive smarter, race better. AIChiefRacing.com. Again, big shout out and thanks to everybody in the YouTube chat, whether you're here live now or in the future. Do not forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell. Get notifications for when we go live here at DSRN. And if you want to get involved with the American Appalachian eSports Arca Rookie Series, make sure you come check us out. Get involved in the racing action with the Digital Racing Sports Network. Live coverage of the Appalachian eSports Arca Rookie Series, brought to you by Biddy's Premium Coatings. And we're ready to take the green as Barney holds the flag in the air. Childers with the black flag. It'll be green, green, green here for the race start. And straight away, it'll be Seth Jackson, James Wagner losing out to Eric Sheffield. And the Blind Squirrel Racing Team, James Wagner on the high line in the number 23, trying to find a way through on the number 20. But that rigid badge machine is getting a nice heap of push from the cars behind. And the three-way push is working on the low line, but the high line seemingly has the speed. The 12 in the crunch machine. The 23 of James Wagner. And the SRM number 7 inherits the lead back one more time, and a little bit of pushing further back. It looks like that might be the number 1 of Dana Ryan getting their elbows out down the straightaway. Pass from the lead back over to Jackson now. Look through to Fugate, Zach Pazak. Currently running up into 5th position. And that Ford Mustang, the teal one on the top side there. Trying to get a helping hand of that slipstream from the cars in front, pushing a giant hole in the air. And something that we were talking about before the race got started is how important it is to have that third car in the row to help out there, as we're going to go 3 wide. Up ahead, the number 26 of Raymond Bell going after it, trying to find a hole to the top side, and there will be a spin. That'll be the 7 of Seth Jackson going around. And does that bring out the caution? I think not. It does bring out a caution. That'll be the 3rd one here tonight. Now we sit behind the 3rd time we'll be behind the pace car. And who's going to be the decider to come down pit lane now? Well, we have a few meatball flags that we need to address. It'll be Tyler Starcher, the 012, Andrew Childers in the 20, and we have Dwayne Pierce also in the 77. Not running too well, sitting with meatball flags, having to get that damage repaired. See if we can get a replay of what happened here. Brought to you by DSRN. Oh, and a little bit of a hip check from the 67 into the 16. And that will lead to the calamity afterwards. Oh, boy. 16 just gets collected again and all that. Ouchie wawa. Back over to live pictures. I did want to take a look at this livery. This is a beautiful livery. I love the artwork on it. Sharpie sponsor, of course. But unfortunately missing a front bumper. I think Andrew Childers going to come down the lane. Yes, he does, as he now gets that meatball flag as he crosses the lane. Yellow flag still up from Barney. And that'll be a fast repair. Is it 4 in fuel? Or is it 2 and go? For the 20, it'll be 4 in fuel. Childers back out onto the tarmac now. And talking to the field before the event, we were deciding on how many laps we thought the drivers could go on fuel and expecting around 16. And here on lap 16, most of the entire field has come down except for Seth Jackson by the looks of it. And should be running on absolute fumes at this point. As you can see on the timing tower, again, all of these overlays brought to you by Collateral Damage Sports Network. Single file behind the pace car now. Now, I'm curious to think what the final lap scenario is going to be for everybody in the field right now. So, I have a feeling like we have a final 5 lap strategy. You know, you want to be there when the time is right. You want to be P2 to P4 going into the final 5. But most importantly, be there in the final couple of corners. Be there at turn 3, be there at turn 4, and be there with a trusted push partner, someone you've had experience with throughout this race session that you kind of have built some confidence in. I think key number 3 is don't leave your lane unless 3 or more cars end up committing to that lane, especially going into the final 5. Barney holding the yellow flag in the air. So we wait for the leaders to come back around. It'll be the 13 and the 23 on that front row. Ready to take the flag in the restart zone. It'll be green, green, green. Here for the American Appalachian eSports Rookie Series. And a great start there for James Wagner and Jonathan Kibbe, who the commentators in chat already called out was gonna maybe have a run for the lead. Well, now he's there. The freaky fast Jimmy Johnson's car is up into P1 now. Raymond Bell and the Blind Squirrel Racing, number 26 in second place. Sitting steadfast right now. Bobbing and weaving and chopping it up. The number 23 of James Wagner goes for a move on the Jimmy Johns machine. And they're going to touch doors going across the stripe. And there will be a spin from the 16, and that'll surely bring out another caution as we go 3 wide, and the 26 of Raymond Bell gets collected, and there's another big one. Let's see if we can find out exactly what kicked this all off. Was it Zach? Zach? It looks like it. The number 16 getting squirrely there, kisses the 20 and sets it all off. But then up ahead, it's a little kiss to the 23 of Wagner. And then we get cars just airborne. And the only one to make it out with his life is Rick Deweese, who was involved in a very early incident that took him to the back of the pack. So Deweese back into the mix. But it looks like unofficially took the lead, as behind the pace car we have Kibby, Ryan, and then Deweese, as it looks like the yellow flag was called before Deweese actually inherited the lead. And there's Deweese's run all the way from, well, P5, where he started the race, all the way back down to P21, where he had to use a fast repair. In the lane, stayed in P21 for a handful of laps. Able to climb through the order there on lap 9, get back into the mix. And just playing his cards right during these caution periods and keeping his nose clean, Deweese has been able to run it back and get into the run of it. And I think Deweese might be the only driver able to make it to the end of the stage on fuel. He came in on lap 9. Let's take a look at the overlay. Now, Deweese could potentially make it to the end of the stage and with the win. Now, interestingly enough, because Zach was involved in that incident, he did come in on lap 19 before the rest of the field, I believe. And he's up into P2 now, despite being the causation of that caution coming out. Well, there goes Dana Ryan actually slipping back in, so this might resettle things. Kibby sorts back in as well. Brendan Biddy. And still 14 up for Zach. Taking a look at Brownell and their paint scheme. And that is a cool looking car. Here at Daytona, under the lights, folks. We're still not at the stage yet, but we will get there very soon as we get ready to go racing yet again. Lights are out on the pace car. Here for the American Appalachian eSports Rookie Series. Brought to you by Biddy's Premium Coatings. Dwayne Pearson, Rick Deweese. excuse me, not Dwayne Pierce. It will be DeWeese and Dana Ryan on that front row, as Dwayne Pierce is a lap down, and that'll get updated when the leader crosses the line. We sit behind the iRacing pace car for the fourth time tonight. Looking to get a good stretch of green clean running. And if you're interested in getting a tool that'll actually help you, make sure you check out AIChiefRacing.com. Give you real-time strategy, fuel calls, and a crew chief that actually tells you what you need to hear and help you elevate your game to the next level. Green, green, green here again. And it looks like the 86 of DeWeese has a great leapfrog start going into the end of the stage. But can he maintain this lead as the one gets a push from the two? And the 67 might get into that arrow wash as well and give a big push along that top side. On board now. Brandon Biddy. Back behind the number one. Coming. It'll be a big moment further back. I think that'll be 3 or 4 involved at least. That'll bring out the caution at the end of the stage. And it looks like it's going to be the 1, 2, and then the 6, 7. And let's see if we can talk to Dana Ryan here. Couple drivers getting the meatball flag there. Raymond Bell, Jonathan Kibbe. Driver came from a long way back. Sheffield and Fugate both having big moments. Waiting to see where the pace car is. There it is. And it'll finally pick up the leaders. And let's see if we can talk to Dana Ryan here in just a moment. Make sure he's not doing anything. Hey, Dana Ryan, I've dragged you into the broadcast booth for just a second. You got a moment to chat?
Yes, sir. How are you?
I'm living the dream, but probably not as great as you right now. Taking the stage win and all.
Did we get the stage? I think Kibby got the stage.
Did he?
I think that that big wreck there. I think Kibby edged us out.
Oh my goodness. Well then, I'll be damned. Oh, I apologize, Dana Ryan. Well, since I got you, how was that fight there for the lead going into that last caution?
It's pretty hectic. We got a good run on the top there and made it 3 wide and it worked. So hopefully we don't have to do that anymore. But got my teammate behind me and hopefully we can hook up here and bring it home.
So I was going to ask, is that the 1-2 combo there, you and your teammate? That'll be your trusted push partner, I'm guessing.
Well, he'll be the push partner till the last lap. Let's put it that way. he wants to win too. So.
The no holds bars, all bets are off, right?
Yeah.
Well, all's fair in love and war. I'll let you get back to it, Dana. Have a good one.
All right, buddy. Take care.
Back to Biddy Farms, correct?
Yes.
Copy that. And then let's talk to Kibby, who I believe took the stage win. Mr. Kibby, I've abducted you.
Sir.
I apologize. How do you do?
How are you doing?
I'm doing good, but I heard you got the stage win there just in the nick of time.
I did.
Congratulations.
Wasn't really sure what happened there, but I guess it was right place, right time.
I mean, even I was dumbfounded there for just a moment at who actually got the win with the caution coming out. But like you said, right place, right time. Strategy coming into play at all? Did you plan for this? Just taking opportunities as they strike? What's happening tonight?
Yeah, just got to take what I can get here. I mean, it's a long race, so you can't push it too hard. You can't win on the on lap 1. But you can certainly lose it on lap 1. So that's kind of the game plan going into this. Run, try to avoid as many wrecks as I can, and be there where when it counts.
Absolutely. We'll keep it green and clean, Kibby. Back to Garage 570 for you, sir.
Sea Bears.
Sea Bears, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good luck. One of my favorite things is talking to drivers and hearing about how the race is going, what's going through their head, how they want to strategize. Are they working with the teammate? Are they by themselves? What is going through their head? And it just brings out a little bit more excitement every time you get to know a little bit more about the drivers, in my opinion. So here we are into the restart. We'll have the 1-2 leading us with the 6-7 and the 86 lining the first 2 rows. And green, 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 and that is a great start for the number 2. And that sponsorless machine has gotten a great jump ahead of his teammate. Is it going to be a move for Deweese, though? It will be down to the low line. The 1-2 team trying their best to challenge the number 86 of Deweese, who's currently running in 3rd. Brunel on the high side himself. Further back, Kapinski in the Garage 570. Christopher Childers getting involved himself. That number 4 with the highlighter number, sponsored by Wendy's. And a little bit of a slip there from the 6-7 of Brownell. Almost ran into the wall, and he keeps on losing out ground. I want to take a look at last pit stop for Brownell. He came in on lap 20. Rick DeWeese again with another caution. That'll be Zach. Causation here on this occasion. Get a replay of what happened to the number 16 of Zach. Oh, and it looks like he just got on the loud pedal and the rear end just snaps on him, and he touches that number 20 again. But most importantly, what is the number 2 of Brandon Biddy doing back there? Because he was supposed to be at the front of this pack. Maybe that's the right call to make because he was able to avoid all the carnage and tarnation that took place. Dan Kopinski is a silent but deadly killer tonight. Up 18 on the good. As we're on lap 31 of 45 tonight. Crowley asks, is this a night race? It's pretty dark. Yes, sir, this is a night race. It is a little dark. You are right about that. A little darker than normal. Now, Rick DeWeese, pitting on lap 9. I think he has an opportunity to strike while the iron is hot. Jeff Burke. Yes, sir, lady ma'am, sir. I apologize, Jeff Burke. I was in the military. I still get beat for not saying yes, sir, no, sir. Where is Rick DeWeese? The one man I want to talk to right now is not available. And there he is down the lane. But so is the rest of the field. Biddy all the way down to Cherry. Andrew Floyd being the last one to come down. And it looks like that'll leave Raymond Bale, Eric Sheffield, and Bugate out of the race. Back under the lights here at Daytona. Couple of historic moments for NASCAR at Daytona. How about the 1979 Daytona 500 with a final lap crash between the leaders? Cale Yarbo and Donnie Allison throw punches on live TV. And it was the first flag-to-flag national broadcast on CBS. How about the 1998? Earnhardt finally wins the 500 after 20 attempts. Dale Earnhardt wins the Daytona 500. And every crew member lined pit road to congratulate him. It's one of sport's most emotional scenes. Of course, we'd be remiss without mentioning the day that changed NASCAR forever. In 2001, the Daytona 500. On the final lap, Dale Earnhardt crashes into turn 4 and would later pass away. This tragedy then led to safer barriers, Hans device mandate, and a major safety evolution after that. It changed NASCAR forever. The first major night race at Daytona Oval proved the superspeedway racing worked in prime time. The Coke Zero Sugar 400 became a summer classic overnight. Sit behind the pace car for the 6th time. And with just 12 to go, let's see who's going to come out on top. For the test race, here brought to you by the American Appalachian eSports Rookie Series Arca. Racing at Daytona in 1 week's time for the inaugural event. And if you haven't got your seats secured yet, well, you better check it out sooner rather than later. Spots are filling up quick. Ryan, Biddy, Kopinski, Wagner. Take the restart as Barney waves the green, green, green. It's another good start for the number 2 of Brandon Biddy. Dana Ryan further back, and Dan Kopinski, the Garage 570. Number 64 up 18 positions on the good tonight. The number 23 back up into the mix, takes the low line, and gets a helping hand from the car behind. The Arby's badged Mustang takes a peek out to the low line past the apron, trying to help out the badge number 23, but it's to no avail. The number 17 has nowhere to go. Further up, Jonathan Kibbe is chopping it up to the best of his ability as the Sea Bears Racing number 13 battles it out with Dana Ryan, separating the 2 teammates. Jonathan Kibbe and Brandon Biddy head to head. On the same strategy. Two by two we go, and a big touch there further back. It looks like the number 1 was getting squirrely there for just a little while, but able to keep it calm, cool, and collected. Cheers for DeWeese in chat as he sits back in P3. It's all starting to pop off with just 10 laps left to go. Oh no! The 86 comes down on the 1, and it's gonna bring out a big caution going into the final 9. And it looks like Seth Jackson might have been the culprit here. Let's take a look. The 7 touches the 86, comes down on the 1, and then it's all calamity and collected from there for the rest of the field. Now, where did DeWeese end up? Oh, DeWeese ended up with a meatball flag. What happened up at the front, too, at the same time? Oh, so DeWeese was just caught up in that. Oh, no. Rick DeWeese, who was having such a good race tonight, really getting the worst of the luck. And he goes back down to P17. Gotta stay hydrated, folks. And I'm sure the drivers are wanting to get a sip of water right now as we go into the final 7 laps of this event. And let's see if we can talk to Kibby Make It Happen. This is Apples for you, says Jeff Burke. Where is Kibby? Well, Kibby, we've already talked to Kibby. Let's see if we can talk to Brandon Biddy. I saw him here for a second. Where's the Biddy family? Well, I'm not seeing Brandon Biddy in his garage, unfortunately. And what happened to my good friend Jacob Brownell, number 67? See if we can talk to Brownell for just a moment. Jacob Brownell, hello. I've dragged you into the broadcast booth.
What we doing?
I'm doing great. How are you, my friend?
You know, I've taken a couple of lumps, but it's not going to be the first time I've went from the back to the front.
You know, you've done it before in this race. I wouldn't be surprised if you can pull it off. With 5 to go, what's the strategy when we go green?
Well, I've noticed the outside line's getting that nice big run, so my biggest thing is to get up there as fast as possible, ride that outside line, and then I'm going to cause a little chaos and go down the middle.
Oh, man. I'm going to keep my eye on you, Brownell, when this restart kicks off. Good luck to you, my friend. I'll put you back in the Blind Squirrel Racing Garage.
Hey, thank you very much, man. Have fun.
You too. Good luck. So we got to keep an eye on Brownell. I mean, how could we not after a statement like that? The man, starting from P13, wants to go further up the order, and he thinks he can climb it all the way to the top. Kibby with the lead on the low side. Brandon Biddy on the high. They line the first row. Wagner and Kapinski line the second. Childers and Gordon line the third. And we're ready for a little bit of chaos and a little bit of action. Lights are out on the pace car. Biddy and Kibby ready to take the flag from Barney. And it's green, green, green again. And we're going to go racing, hopefully for the last time, here with 6 to go. Biddy, Wagner, Childer, the 1, 2, 3, with Kibby falling back into P4. What happened to Brownell and his move to the middle lane? Is he doing it? Well, someone did, and that'll bring out the caution. And we definitely... Oh, Chris Band's giving me a little bit of advice. It's Childers, not Childers. Okay. Thank you very much for letting me know, Chris Bands. Appreciate it. Childers. Meatball flag for Andrew Childers. And we're going to have Tyler Starch come in the lane. Seth Jackson, Zach. And Chris maybe can give me a pronunciation on Zach's last name. I just keep calling him Zach. I don't think that's correct. A little pronunciation guide would be great. Give me some umlauts. Crowley asks, what is the meatball flag? The meatball flag is the black flag with the orange circle on it that indicates that you have to come down to get service done on your vehicle. In the road racing world, we call it the meatball flag, well, because it looks like a meatball on a black background. Is there another phrase that you call it in the oval realm other than the meatball flag? Let me know in the comments. No problem, Mr. Crowley. Ah, that is Miss Childers, or Childers. Darn it, I did it again. Miss Childers. Thank you very much for the help, Miss Childers. I'll always take a little bit of help from the fans. And thank you very much for your support, and thank you very much for watching this entire thing. We'll give Chris and Andrew a little bit of obligated screen time for your patronage. Christopher currently running in 4th, started back in 18th. Not too far off from the front row. Starting back from P4, definitely has an opportunity to get a podium tonight as we get on to lap 42. Will this be a sprint of just one lap to the end? Let's take a look at the pace car. Lights are still on that pace car. Biddy, Wagner, Kibbe, Childers. Mr. Crowley is my beautiful girlfriend. I'm sorry, Jeff. I'm sorry. Mrs. Crowley, of course. How, Mrs. Crowley? I couldn't see your avatar, your profile picture from here. I'm sorry. Lights out. 2 to go. As we sit, Biddy, Wagner, Kibbe, Childers, and then Kopinski and Floyd line the first 3. No, I'm committed to being Mr. Crowley now. Oh, that is great. You guys are the best. Thank you very much for staying tuned. Thank you very much for joining me tonight. You guys have been a lovely crowd to entertain tonight. The chat has been absolutely phenomenal. Thank you guys for showing your support to your loved ones. Thank you very much for showing your support here to the DRSN. With 2 to go, who's going to come out on top? And can we keep it green here for the rookie series? Pace car in. And Brandon Biddy with a good jump start there in the number 2 with just 2 to go. It's the final countdown. There's the 13 chopping it up, going to the low side. That'll be Kibbe going for a run, and he's going to charge through on the number 2. But will it be enough? He's going to need some help from the number 4 behind, because the 23 is giving a big dose of a push to the number 2, and the caution comes out. Looks like Dean Barron involved in that one. Take a look back at Dean Barron and see what happened here. Back for the number 84. Kind of caught out by the 88 there. Got hit by the 28 to begin with. It's just sight unseen and just unfortunate there for him. Holy smokes, what a big hit. Now, an interesting turn of events. As we would have finished here on lap 45, we're under a condition called green, white, checkered, or GWC for short. This is a situation in which we did not get to see the white flag before the caution came out, meaning we did not get to the last lap of the race before the caution came out, meaning we will not see the green, we will not see the checkered flag this time by on lap 45. We will get an additional 2 laps of running once we go green. Again, If we do not get to see the white flag, we will go back to green, white, checkered conditions. This situation can be repeated up to 3 times, under the third condition, we will see the checkered flag no matter what circumstances occur. Let's try to pull in Biddy. I'm actually not seeing Biddy. I apologize. Maybe we'll pull in James Wagner. Checking on the status of the pace car. Let's pull in James Wagner and see what their thoughts are for the green-white checkered conditions. James Wagner from Biddy Farms have dragged you into the broadcast booth. How you doing?
What's going on?
Not much, living the dream, but not as high as you right now. In that number 23.
Yep. Been having a good time here. I got my teammate right next to me, front line. We got this.
Yeah, so a little bit of teamwork coming out, but when it comes down to the white flag lap, are you still teammates?
Yeah, we're still teammates, but we'll have a good drag race toward the end.
I'm looking forward to it. Any strategy that you want to share with us?
Well, right now, I think we're hoping for no green, white, no more of these cautions, because I think I just have enough fuel to make it.
Oh, shoot. All right, we'll take a look on the telemetry and see what we can see as far as your fuel gauge, but good luck to you, James Wagner.
All right, you guys have a good one.
You too. Back to the Biddy family farm for James Wagner. Let's take a look at that telemetry. Oh, he is running on fumes right now. Coming in on lap 31. The only one who did come in on lap 37 would be Brownell for the Blind Squirrel Racing. So if we get more of these green-white checkered conditions, we could potentially see Brownell climb back to where, well, he said he was going to be at the end of the night. Biddy, Wagner, Floyd, and Kibbe, and Brownell, and Childers. And let's see if we can keep it green and clean. For the final 2 laps of running. Pace car in this lap. And we are officially ready to rumble. Wagner and Biddy line that first row in anticipation of the green flag. Green, green, green for potentially the final time. Between the 12 and the 23, it's going to be a little dicey, but up ahead for the number 2, it'll be a healthy lead. Leaving the field in his trail is the number 2, the 12 trying to get the drag. So is the 23, the 13 trying to force it 3 wide, but a big pinch there, and this is going to be, oh my goodness, they keep it green, going down to the stripe. It might be the final time we're going to see the white flag if we keep it green. The 13 of Jonathan Kibbe, but we do see the yellow flag come out. And this will push us behind the safety car one more time. I think we're going to have to see a few drivers come down the lane. Yes. Gordon, Childers, Zach. And I think we might see a few drivers running on empty. These are all the drivers that came in on lap 31. Dana Ryan came in on lap 41. Brownell came in on 37. So the 2 drivers that are actually in the prime positions right now are the one in the 67. Let's talk to Brownell again and see if he knows he's on the right strategy. Now, Jacob Brownell, I've dragged you back into the broadcast booth because I wanted to just hear it from the man himself. I told you so. You can say it.
Hey, what did I say?
You can say it.
I was going to come back.
It's okay. I'll accept it. You're on your way to an excellent comeback. Starting on that 3rd row, you're actually one of the drivers sitting with the most amount of fuel right now.
We had to play that strategy. That was the biggest part that we wanted to do. Yeah, when I was looking at the cautions, I was like, I need to come out just at the right time so that I have enough fuel, but to be able to come back up.
And you might have pulled it off. I won't give you the commentator's curse, so no more nice things will be said about you in that 67 other than that is a nice livery. Is there a story behind it?
You know, here's the best part about it. When I very first started iRacing, this was the first car I got, and this was the first wrap I put on it. Everyone has always liked it, but I've never seen a need to change it.
Very cool, man. Very cool indeed. I'll leave you to it as we get ready for the green flag, Brownell.
Have a good one. Time for the hard racing.
Good luck. Brownell back in the blind squirrel booth. Jonathan Kibbe, Brandon Biddy, Wagner Childers, Dana Ryan, Brownell. Line the first 3. Dan Kapinski, Dean Brown, Andrew Floyd, Seth Jackson, Tyler Starcher, Rick DeWeese, and Dwayne Pierce, all on the lead lap. Mark Brister and John Sherry are down a few. Yeah, Zach, this has been a crazy race so far. Holy smokes. And Zach, if you could do me a favor, let me know how to pronounce your last name because I've just been calling you Zach all night long. So hopefully that's close. Jeff Burke. in the YouTube chat saying Kibby is going to bring it home for Mr. Crowley tonight. So let's see if the 13 can be freaky fast. And cheers from Burke as well for Kibby to bring home the Golden Plunger. Kibby breaks away from the pack a little bit behind the pace car. And you can see from this angle just how aggressive the banking is here at Daytona, which is what allows the drivers to be able to go up to nearly 200 miles per hour. And one of the things that makes this a super speedway pace cars in. The 13 has a breakaway lead. The 2 trying to follow suit. The 23 checks up and falls back, but has a leapfrog start on the number 4. Further back, the number 2 is getting sandwiched in and gets a little squirrely. Has to go to the high side. Has his teammate behind him. The number 1 of Ryan. And it will be a little bit of a squabble coming down to the stripe. And the 13 collects a lot of drivers. And that's going to send us into the 3rd caution. Looks like it was DeWeese involved in that. See if we can get a look from the blimp camera what exactly happened here. As we go back, let's see if we can check it from the blimp camera. Oh, the 13. Oh, goodness. That's Jonathan Kibby. Oh, no. For those of you at home watching, shield your eyes. The Kibby fans, well, I've got bad news for the Sea Bears racing team. Jonathan Kibby is down in pit lane with significant damage as he was collected in that accident. And this might be a very long pit stop for Jonathan Kibby now. Lindsay DeWeese saying, "This is exhausting." You're telling me. I'm sure the drivers are exhausted as well. Unsure of when the reprieve will come. We just need 2 laps of green flag running to finish this one off. And it looks like the number 2 is going to have to come down the lane and get topped up with fuel. Now, will the number 4 have to follow suit, or have they been conserving a little bit? Looks like a couple of drivers definitely picking to come down the lane. Can't talk to Brandon Biddy again because he's not here, unfortunately. I keep saying that. Christopher, let's talk to Christopher. Chris, how's it going? I've dragged you up into the broadcast booth. Hopefully that's okay with you.
That's fantastic, brother. It's all good.
How are you doing today as you come down pit road? I was just about to ask you how much fuel you had left.
I got enough to make this thing look real fun at the end.
Right on, right on. Any strategies for you going into the final two? How do you plan on keeping it green and clean?
Well, stay in front of the wreck. That seems to be the good strategy for now.
Yep.
Really, man, we're just gonna me and the Deuce are just gonna hopefully take it clean, man, and we'll see what happens out of turn 4.
Right on. Good luck to you. You're going back to the Sea Bears, correct?
Oh yeah.
All righty. Good luck to you, Chris.
Thank you, buddy.
So Chris says he's got enough fuel to make this exciting to the finish. They're staying down on the apron, though. I wonder how much fuel he actually has. Remember, we were talking to Jacob Brownell earlier, folks. And Brownell said that he had a chance Well, here is Brownell. Up into the top 4. Has an opportunity to win this whole shebang. Cheers for Childers in the chat as well. Let's see, who was that I just heard? That'll be Andrew Floyd, or is that DeWeese? That'll be Rick DeWeese coming around. In the number 86, coming back to the pack. Brandon Biddy and Christopher Childers in that front row. Starcher and Brownell on the second. Still anybody's game. And it's green, green, green. And the 2 leads the 4. The 67 is there, trying to challenge the 17 of Starcher. The high line is there for Starcher. The 6-7 falls in line. Single file behind the leaders with 2 to go. And then there was more chaos. And that is Christopher Childers involved in that accident. And it looks like it all kicked off with Wagner. Let's see what happened here exactly. Oh, and just a big chaotic mess as we're trying to go 4 wide, 2 rows deep. Oh. And the 23 of Wagner gets absolutely airborne in all of that aftermath. The 4 of Christopher Childers gets collected. Oh, no. And who is that innocent bystander on the low line there? Well, they also get collected, and Wagner keeps spinning. Now, is this going to be it? I see the white flag out. Are we going to finish this under caution, folks? Barney's still waving the yellow flag. And there it is. Barney pulls out the checkered flag, and it's going to be Brandon Biddy taking the win in front of Brownell. And then Seth Jackson in third. Dana Ryan in fourth. Dan Kapinski, Tyler Starcher, Dean Barron, and Rick DeWeese round out the top 8. Take a look at the results here. As it was definitely the Biddy Brownell Jackson show with a lot of positions gained. Most laps led there for Brandon Biddy. Fastest lap for Brownell. Pole position for Andrew Floyd, but nowhere to be found in the top 10, unfortunately. Hard charger for Dan Kapinski, the number 64 for Garage 570. Biddy, Brownell, Jackson, Ryan, Kapinski, Starcher, Barron, DeWeese, Pierce, Childers round out the top 10. Then it was Wagner, Floyd, Kibbe, Brister, Cherry, Gordon, Childers, Pizak, Bell, Sheffield, and Fugate rounding out the 21 participants tonight. Let's go ahead and start pulling in drivers for the race interviews. Well, we don't have Brandon Biddy. I forgot. I apologize. We're going to have to jump ahead to the number 67 of Jacob Brownell. So snatch him out real quick.
I was to know that I was right. Oh, hey.
Hey, Jacob Brownell. Sorry to snatch you up and kidnap you out of the Biddy family farms.
Well, yeah, you know.
We've got to chat with you now about this podium result. I don't see Brandon Biddy anywhere, so I can't talk to him, but I've got you.
Oh. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That was a good ending right there. That was, well, not good. I wish it was a little bit cleaner. We're going to work on that. And, you know, at the end of the day, though, second place, I'm pretty happy with it.
I would be pretty happy with it, especially with the roller coaster ride that you were on tonight. I think we could show it with the chart. Yeah, started back in P10, worked your way up, and then worked your way back down, worked your way back up, and a podium is what you found at the end of the night.
You know, you put a little bit of effort into it. I've been trying to practice at my ovals. I'm usually I'm a little bit of a hanger back, but on super speedways, I know how to do a little bit of damage, and I put that to work today.
I think all that hard work actually went to good use because on the results page, I believe you had the fastest lap of the event, actually.
Oh,
Yeah,
well,
so
I'm gonna have to pat myself on the back there.
I definitely would, Brandon. Or Jacob Brownell, I apologize. Is that Brandon Biddy in the broadcast waiting room?
That might be. That might be.
All right, I'll have to bug him about changing his name. But anybody you'd like to shout out or anybody you'd like to thank on the podium tonight, Brownell?
I got to thank my team. They were there to support me. I even after Raymond got taken out, he was helping me do a little bit of calling out. If it wouldn't be for that final call, I would have probably ended up in that mess with everybody else. But here I am, standing on top. I just want to thank the Appalachian Racing League for hosting this event. I mean, they put out a great environment for people to come learn, grow, and have a hell of a lot of fun in the process.
Absolutely. If I wasn't behind the mic, I'd probably be out on the grid with you. But I don't want to show you up, Jacob, so I'll stick to my skills behind the mic, of course. Have a great night, brother. I'm just kidding.
Have a good night.
Take care. Let's talk to the man, the myth, the legend himself. Who do we have here? Is this Mr. Biddy?
It is.
Hello, Mr. Biddy. Sorry, I was trying to talk to you during the race, couldn't see your name. So I apologize I didn't pull you in for an interview earlier on, but I wanted to talk to you a few times. Able to pull out the win tonight, though, for the number 2. I think that goes on to your... I think you're going to find a sponsor sooner than you think if you keep on getting wins like this.
Yeah, I hope so. This is my second win in the league overall. Won the truck race Daytona here. But I guess this one don't really count. It's a preseason race, so I can't really say that. But yeah, man, it just came down to the fuel, man. I was about to run out, and I had like 2.8 laps of fuel left there. That's why I was dropping to the apron at the end. And yeah, I mean, the guys kept wrecking, and I was hoping that what happened would happen.
Yeah. It ended up working out in your favor. You played the cards, pitched perfectly tonight to come out on top. Now, looking forward to next week. Are you going to execute the same strategy? Or you got something else up your sleeve?
Yeah, I'm going to try to do the same thing. I keep trying to find a way to get on the infield, but I can't figure it out. But yeah, next week, I'm about to run out of gas. I mean, as you could probably see, I didn't... I laid back the first stage. I mean, it wasn't for points or anything, so there's no reason to
be aggressive, be there.
Be aggressive.
Yeah,
and push it too hard, and so it worked out quite well doing that, and just got to figure out where victory lane is out here.
Now, Brandon, anybody you'd like to shout out or anybody you'd like to thank on the victory tonight?
Yeah, I want to thank my teammates. We executed a plan, and that we were hoping to get all 4 of us, 1 through 4 there.
Yeah.
That didn't work out, but yeah, I mean, we executed a plan, and that plan worked.
Sure.
For one of us, myself.
You had a 1 in 4 chance, but it ended up working out like you said for the Ford Mustang. Brandon Biddy there with the win tonight. Damn. Congratulations. What a heck of a start tonight. And looking forward to what you guys can produce coming up next week as well. Thank you very much for joining us, sir. Really appreciate it. Any final shout outs on the victory tonight?
Yeah, just everybody over at Biddy Family Racing, and for everybody over at the league for putting it on. And I'm looking, forward to this ARCA season and seeing what it holds for us.
Absolutely. Me as well, brother. Have a great night. And as always, stay safe out there.
Thanks, man.
And I'm looking for one more Seth Jackson, but I'm not seeing him, unfortunately. So I think that will be it for now. Thank you very much for joining, everybody. Thank you very much for staying tuned. It's been a pleasure to be your host, to take you from green to checkered flag tonight. It was a pleasure to be here, and it was action-packed, to say the least. Brandon Biddy, Jacob Brownell, and Seth Jackson round out that podium tonight. And they come out on top as we look forward to going into the season first race next week. Again, thank you very much for joining us tonight. Thank you very much for staying tuned. Everybody was phenomenal in the YouTube chat. Make sure you stay tuned next week. Big shout out and thanks to Shane Cochran over at Collateral Damage Sports Network for all of the amazing plugins that you see on your screen and the overlays. And thank you very much to the Digital Racing Sports Network for having me be part of their production. Have a great night, everybody. And as always, make sure you stay safe out there. Goodbye for now.